So let's learn how to initialize Firebase. And here we will learn how to use authentication, real-time database, cloud Firestore, storage and hosting. All of these things, all of these functions will be common in all other frameworks like JavaScript, in React, Angular and all. They will be common. But if you want to see how to connect to separate frameworks like React, Angular, Vue and all, you can see this playlist. We have videos there. So first of all, let me create one project in Firebase. Let me enter Firebase frontend. Continue. So I am showing you from the start, from the beginning, how to do all of these. Here I have a code sandbox which has two inputs, email and password. And let's tackle authentication first. So here we have so many options like password, email authentication, email link, Google sign in with Apple, with Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, Microsoft, Yahoo and all. So let me show you these things first. Now our project has been created. Now let's create one app. So click web app here, enter the name. So wait a second, make this as Firebase Basics, then registered app. Yes, so here I have email input and password input and one submit button. If we type anything here, this will be fed into this email of name, sorry, in the input of name with the value respectively. So for the email, it will be email in this data state. For password, it will be password. So we have to install Firebase first. So to install Firebase, come here and go to this file. Just add Firebase as dependency like this. It will be added. And for React app, for the VS Code, I mean, you have to install using this command npm install Firebase. Now you see we are getting all this data here that we have to import in the into this app.js. So create a file here firebase config.js. Let's put all the things here, copy these things and just paste here. Let me remove the comments to make it more clear. We have to export this const app. So this is the config data. We have API key, auth domain, ID and all. So we have to import it here. So import app from one step back, the file name Firebase config. So now we can use Firebase for this app here. So continue to console. Okay, we are targeting authentication first. So we have to come to authentications tab. Click get started here. It comes with the so many type of authentications that I shown you here. Password, email link, Google, Facebook and all. So we have to enable them first. So let's first enable email and password sign up and sign in. Also add your domain here. So let me add the domain. The domain is this. So copy this and just add it here. Wait a sec. Add it. So it will work, I guess. Now what we have to do is we have to import a few things from Firebase authentication. So just like it says here, import get auth and create user with email and password here. So get auth is a function to check whether we are authenticated or not, and this function create user with email and password, it is used to create one user. So let me do it. First let me define the auth instance. So let auth equals to get auth, simply like this. Then in this function handle submit, if we click the button here, submit button, this will be sent inside. If we click the submit button, this function will run, which is handle submit. So in this function of create user with email and password, we have to pass the three things. First is the auth. See, it's getting passed here, the auth, the email and the password. So let me get the email. So our email is from the data state. So data.email or I mean and data dot password. So we have to record the response in the console. So we will use then it will send us a response. To add the response in the params in the callback function, we can just say console.log response.user. But if it fails, if our sign in fails, we can just catch it using catch. So error, we will just show an alert which is error dot message. So save it. Now let's try to sign in. We don't have any email here, so let's try it now. Enter the email, or first open the console and clear all these things here from the console. Add the email and some password. Submit. See, we are getting all this data here. Provider, reloader. Okay, we don't need this. We only need the access token. We need the display name, which is null. Email that we used to sign up is verified. Phone number and all. So here it's not verified. So if we refresh this, we should see this email here. See, it's coming here. And one great thing about this is, so let me sign in or sign up, I mean, with the same email twice. It's present here. If we sign up again or create the user again, we will see an error in the alert. Submit. See, we are getting auth email already in use. So that's how we create a user in the Firebase Firestore. So not Firestore, I mean in the auth. I am getting why I am repeating Firestore every time I speak Firebase. Okay, so create is done. Now let's see how to sign in. So to sign in, we have this method, sign in with email and password. So simply add it here or replace the create user and here also. And all the other things will be the same. Save, and now let's try to sign in with this email. Clear it. The console clear. Submit. See, we are getting all the data here, which is getting returned from here, from this response. But if we enter the wrong email, that's not present here, we should see an error. So let me use an wrong email, nishan440 at the rate 4401 at the rate gmail.com, and click submit. See, user not found because this user is not present inside the auth. What if we enter the wrong password? So let's enter the wrong password. Submit. See, still the error of wrong password we are getting here. So sign up and sign in is done. I mean, create account and sign in. So now let me focus on the email or Google sign in authentication. So you can read the docs and do it just like I'm doing it for all other sign in methods, because I won't be able to show you everything. So last here is, let me just show you Google Auth provider first. So we need the get auth and Google Auth provider. Then we have to create the auth instance for provider of Google. So let Google provider equals to new. We have to initialize the provider using new Google Auth provider. Fine. Then we have to import one more thing, which is called sign in with pop-up. Pop-up. It's here. So we have three things: get auth, Google Auth provider, and sign in with pop-up. We have to use the function here, and we will pass the auth, this auth, and the provider name, which is Google, and that's all. But here also we have to add the provider of Google. So enable this and then save using your email at the email support ID, project support email. Save. So it's being created. So save, and if we click the submit button here, this should open up a pop-up here. So if we just save and try, okay, it will work. See, the name of Nishant as 440@gmail.com. The provider here is email. So if we try again, click submit. Okay. So we are getting an error because we have to add the method here, but this is not working, this custom domain. So let me fix this. So if I just copy this and add this here, or just do a share button. Okay, it's not for us. Okay, just copy the web link here from here and just post it here in the domain. Click add, and that should work now. So if we click submit button, okay, unauthorized domain. Wait a second, submit once more. Okay, what is the problem here? We can't able to trigger this here. So submit or refresh this, then click submit. Okay, now we are getting it here. Let me show you the pop-up, and I think you can see it too. So then just click, okay, where is it? Click the email, any email. So see, we are getting returned all this data here that we got previously for the password sign up. The email, so this email is verified because we have used the email sign up. Sorry, we have used the Google sign up, I mean, and the provider here has been changed to Google. So similarly, we have GitHub, we have Facebook, Apple, Twitter, and all. So for GitHub, we have to import the GitHub auth provider, and then we have to add the, what is it? Let me just open the sign in method of GitHub. We have to add the client ID and secret, and it will return us the auth handler, link that we have to paste in the GitHub website, GitHub app, I mean. So if we go to github.com, we should see the settings here. So go to settings and go to the developer settings here, auth apps. So create one new app here. So let me just open this FireAuth. So I have to use the auth URL here that you are getting from here. Where? From here. Wait a second. If we add the GitHub, this one. So we have to add this here in this authorization callback URL. Then we have to get the client ID and secret from here. So you have to figure it out. If not, you can check my video about GitHub authentications in the same playlist. So that's done. So we have done Google authentication and password, create user and sign in. So now let's move to databases. So first will be the Firebase Firestore. So for Firestore, let me just go to this Cloud Firestore. Then, okay, we don't need this. You can read docs if you want, but I will show you how to perform all the 4 operations for Firebase Firestore. So open the Firestore here in the left tab. Then just create database, start in test mode, then enable this. So now we can use Cloud Firestore. And here in the Firebase config, we have to import a thing called, so import get Firestore. So wait, let me just first add the Firebase/Firestore folder. We have to import get Firestore from Firebase Firestore. Then we have to create one new const of database. Then we have to pass this app in the get Firestore function. So we are done. Also, we have to import the database in our app.js because we have to use it to create the reference to a collection. So see, we have to create a collection here. So we can do it manually here or from the application, from the React app. So let me do it from the React app. So we have to remove all these things that we don't need right now. Let me remove this as well from auth. We have to import 2 things. So first is the collection keyword, collection function to add a collection to Firebase. Then add doc to add document to the Firebase Firestore. So we can do from, what I'm doing, Firebase / Firestore. This. So let's create a collection here. So just type const collection ref equals to collection keyword. It will take the things here, which first is the database, this database. Second, the collection name. So we can make the collection as users. The name users will be here in the collection. It will be shown later. Now we have to send data using add doc function. To add doc, and it accepts two params. First is the collection reference, and second is the data. So let me add one more. Okay, leave it. So just add email. It will be data.email. Then let's add the password, data.password. Fine. Then we have to record our response, or we can just say dot then for the success alert, and we can say alert data added. But if it is an error, we can just catch it and say error. We can say console or alert arr dot message. So save it. Now let's try to add data. So let me enter the email and some password. Submit. This function like add doc, collection, it's common in all the frameworks like React, Angular. So if we have to add data from Angular, we have to use add doc. If we have to add data from Svelte or JavaScript or React or Vue.js or Next.js, we have to use add doc. So it's common for all other frameworks. So see, this new data is now here, this new collection name, Nishant S440 at the rate blah blah blah, and the password. Let me add one more. So let me just make it as one and submit. Added, and it's here. If we refresh this page, I think it should be here. So let's check. See, we have two collections here now. Nishant S4401, the latest one, and this one, the previous one. Now let's see how to read data. So we can create a function for this. So const get data. It will be an arrow function. So to get data, we have to get a function called get docs. This function gets data from Firebase. To get data, we have to just pass the collection reference here. So collection ref, we have to pass it here. It returns some data as a response like any API call. So say response, and here we can just do console.log response.data. We have to map through the data because it's very clumsy. So it takes a parameter called, let's say, item. Then we have to return what do we have to return? Return item dot data or doc. So let me make this data. We will see what we get. So we have to call the function because we are not calling it. So if we paste it here in the submit button, we should see the data here if we click submit. So cannot read property of map. Okay, I guess this is not data, it's doc. We can check it here. If we go to read data, get data once. Okay, get doc. Okay, this is not the data, it's only for one data. Okay, region. Let's check add and manage data here. I think the read is already here. So where is read docs? Okay, wait. Structure data. Let me see. Okay, leave it. Let's try this. Submit. Cannot read properties of. Okay, I think this is doc. And this one is data. Submit it. Save it. Submit it. Then. Cannot read properties of. what for map. So we are passing the collection reference and get docs, and then we are consoling the response.docs. I think it's not doc. Submit. Yes, now we are getting this. We are getting two objects here. Which are these objects? These two IDs. So let's add the ID as well. So wrap it in a curly bracket and make it an spread operator. So it's storing the data and also the ID. So ID will be item.id. Save it, and now let's try if we don't need it. Okay, we don't need three brackets here because it's just an single string. So try it now. Submit. See, it's here the two objects with their IDs, this ID and this ID. So this is how we document. So let's now try to update data. So const update doc, we need a function update data. So these are common. I am telling you once more. So add the function to the submit button of update data function. So here we have to import two things. So we can just add, if we break this down, it will be good for us. So we have to do a doc and update doc. So we can update only one data at a time. So in the update doc, we have to send the button, we have to send the ID. So you can send ID. I mean, because we need the ID here. So let me just choose any ID here from these two, and I will show you. And for the depth, you can see my other React video where I have shown how to update data using the ID param. It's just a common React thing, not from Firebase. So what we can do is we have to use the doc function. So first we have to specify which document to update. So say const doc to update equals to we have to use this doc function that we just imported. It takes three parameters. So two of them are here. Where? Let me check this collection reference. Wait, this one. So it is the database and the user. So pass it here. The database, the collection name, and the ID. So let me choose the ID of this. So this one, copy this ID. We will update this field then statically. So add the ID here. So now, okay, so doc is now been selected, which document to update. So if we choose the submit button, click submit button here. This Nishant S440 and the password of 123456 will be updated. Then we have to call update doc to update it. We will pass doc to update, I mean which document to update, and the new data. So let's add email. This should be, let's say ABC, and add password something, anything, 123 123 4 5 fine. So if it is successful, we can just call then, which will show an alert, and it will say data updated. But if it fails, we can catch it using catch error and just an alert, and it will say error dot message. Fine. So this is done. We are passing database, the collection name, and the ID here in the doc to update function, and then we are doing all these things. Save it. Okay, let's also call this get data function. Okay, that is not important. So click submit. So let me check first. The email is this. Okay, the email is this. It will be changed to this ABC. The password is this. Changed to 12345. So submit. Updated. And if you check here, see the email is ABC and the password is 123456. If we add this ID here, let me show you, and we can also update one field at a time. So if we don't want to update password, we can just remove this or make this just as anything you want, or simple some password. So save, submit. So here this should be ABCD. So let me make it ABCD. This should be ABCD, the email. So submit, updated. See, the email is now ABCD and the password is the same. So that is how we update document. So the fourth one is delete document. So let me show you here. So we can make it delete data and pass the function here to the button. And we don't need to pass data here. We only need to pass the doc to update or doc to delete. So let me get one more function which is known as delete doc or delete doc doc. Fine. So just add the function here where in the update doc place. So we have to use the data deleted alert. So all the things are fine. So save and now let's check. If we click submit, second ID will be deleted. This one with email ABCD and the password 126. Submit. Okay, deleted and see it's not here. We only have one field with the email of ABC and the password of this. So that's how delete function works. If you want to delete this ID, we have to copy the ID and paste it here. So thus the third param is ID here. Okay. So you have to get the ID from the params for this delete function. Pass the ID from here. It will come here. It will come here and then pass the ID simply here. So submit, deleted, and see we don't have any fields here. We are having empty data in Firestore. So that's how add document, get document, update document, and delete document works in Firebase Firestore. All the four CRUD operations operation. Now let's see file storage for Firebase storage. So we have to do here import. Wait a second. From Firebase storage. Come. It's coming here. Okay. So it should be get storage from Firebase storage. Then we have to export a constant. So export const storage equals to get storage and similarly pass the app. Then import the storage here. So we don't need the database because we are going to remove these things to make it clean. Remove this. Okay, don't remove this. Remove handle submit, not the function, just the constants. Remove get data, delete data, and all. And here, let me create one. Wait a second first. Make it handle submit here. Let me create one input field. So we don't need this. So remove it. And on change, it takes an event, and we will call the handle input function for this. So we can just set it like this as well. So set data. This should be event dot target dot files and 0th index. So the file will be stored here in the handle input. And then if we see in the storage, let me open the storage here. Click web, click upload files. So we are getting the data here. Let me show you ultimately. So console.log, let me say file here. So file will be here. Okay, not this. We don't have to use file. I'm doing this wrong. We have to use data. So handle input. Okay, then we also don't need this. So just paste it here. Remove handle input function. So if we choose one file or just save it, but the thing is we have to add the type. So type will be file. We don't need placeholder and in the name. So remove them. So if we choose one file, this should appear in the this should appear here if we press the button of submit. So let me choose one file here like REST API. Click submit. See, the file is now here, and now we have to send the file to this Firebase storage. So head over to storage here and let's enable the storage. So it's already enabled. Fine. So we have to import this get storage and reference here at the top. So we don't need get storage because we are already having this get storage here. We have to use it here, the storage, if we want to use get storage. See, it's doing this here, but we have done it here in the Firebase config file. Then we have to specify which document to, which data to save using mountain reference. So create it here. This should be the image name. So the image name should be called as data.name because see, the name is here of the image. So we can just say data.name. So that's done. Now we have to pass the mountain reference to a function. So the function is this upload bytes. But if we go down here, we should see a clear view of all the functions. So we have to use this upload bytes resumable. So import it from Firebase storage here. Then one more thing we need is the get download URL. So if our file upload is successful, we will get a URL in our console that we can just send to database. Like let's say we submitted one profile picture and it's returning us a link. Then we can send the link to database for the avatar or for profile picture. So we have to use this upload bytes resumable function. So say upload task, create one instance of this. It takes the storage ref, which is not the mountain ref, so pick it storage ref, fine. Second is the file, so it's data, not file. So then we have to do just this called upload task.on. So here let's do it. So upload task.on, state changed. So it takes an callback URL, so let me just make it like this. And if you see here, it's taking a parameter called snapshot. So in the first callback, we can calculate the progress of how many percentage of the photo has been uploaded. Then using this data, we can create a progress bar. So it will be shown here. If it is an error, we can handle the error. So let me just add this here. So let me console the error. So console.log error dot message. Wait. Then if it is successful, if the file upload is done, we can just call the next function here, which is called get download URL. So you see, it's returning us a URL. Wait, let me clear this comment. Now if we refresh this, okay, let me just try this. We don't have any files in the storage, so let me just choose one file. So we have chosen. If we submit here, see, upload is 0% done. Okay, unknown error occurred. Okay, let me just refresh the page and try once more. If we check here, we are passing the script storage here. Fine. All the things are great here also. So let's try this. We are using ref to specify the reference. Data.name. Okay, let me pass it outside. Save. Now let's try to upload one file. Click submit. 0% done. Okay, what is the error here? Okay, let me see. Unknown error occurred. Check for payload. So let me check this. Check for payload. Firebase storage error. State changed. Okay, upload task. Images. Rebirths.jpg. Data.name. Okay, let me bring it back here. So we are creating the storage ref here, like this. Why here we are passing this? We are passing it here, the storage. So if we see ref const storage, get storage, it's fine. We are passing the ref here. storage ref, then the data in upload bytes resumable. We are using this file, but here we are using data. Fine. So what is the problem here? So it's not being properly uploaded because why? Const upload task is here. Dot on. Fine. State changed. Okay. Fine all as well. Snapshot. Progress error. But why can't we upload a file here? Yes, because the rules are not set up here, I think. So we have to also check the rules. So open the rules and see the rule here is we can only upload a file only when we are authenticated. But we are not authenticated here. So let me try once more. It will work. Submit. Upload is done 100%. And see, we can see the file URL in the console. If we go to this link here, we should see the image that we uploaded. Now you can use this link to send data to Firebase databases. So if we check it here also, refresh the page. Wait, they should be shown here. What is this? What is this? In the storage. So wait a moment. See, the image is here with the name, all the things that you can use, also the location. So what if we want to upload the file in a folder? So here in the data.name, we can specify the folder in a string variable. So make this as template literal first, then just add the folder. Let's say it's images / the image name. So we will send the images in the images folder. So if we try once more to send data, so try it, choose another file, any random file, then submit. It should be uploaded in an images folder. So let me check it here, refresh storage. See, it's in the images and the current image is here that we just uploaded. So that's how Firebase storage works in all frameworks for React, Angular, Vue, Svelte, JavaScript, Next, and all the things. So fine. Now let's see how to use the real-time updates in the Firebase Firestore. So let me show you what I mean. We are getting the data here from getDocs function in the getData function, and it's empty here. If we add one name, Nishant Kumar, and email, submit, it's added, but it's not getting refreshed here. So to refresh the page, we have to refresh the page manually. Click this, and only then we will get this array of objects here from Firebase Firestore. So to solve this issue, we have to create one more thing called on snapshot. So import this function, and let me just comment this getDocs right now. So this on snapshot listens to the real-time updates in Firebase Firestore. Here we have to pass the collection reference and one callback function. So this callback function will run every time there is a change inside Firebase Firestore. Any change, if we delete, if we update, or if we add data. So we have to do this. So it takes a parameter called, let's make it data, and just console.log this thing. So I have already this consoling here. So copy and just paste it. Remove the comments here. Let me refresh, or let me format the code here. See, let's try again from the beginning. Refresh the page. We have an object here coming from here. If we add one more object, let's say Nishant Kumar 2 and the email something else to submit, this new data will be here. That was not before with the getDocs function. So submit, see, added, and we are getting listened in real time. If we add one more, 4403, we will have 3 objects here coming from here. So when this data changes here, this will also change in the front end app. If we delete this collection or any field, let's see what happens. Delete document, start delete. See, here we have also refreshed the page, and we only have 2 objects coming from the Firestore, this Firestore. So that's how it works. If we delete the whole collection, we will have the empty object or empty array there right now. So delete this. So see, the array is now empty because it's getting listened to in the real time. So that was how on snapshot works to get data in real time from Firebase Firestore. Now let's see the Firebase Firestore queries. So queries are used to filter data based on some field like name or age. So here I have 4 fields I have added which contains name, age and email. So let's filter data according to them. So we need the keyword called query from Firebase Firestore, and one more thing, it is called where keyword. So let me create one const of query. So let's say const. Let's first add the age query. So it takes the query parameter. So we will filter out the ages which are less than 28. So I think we should get 25, 21 and 20 ages. So to filter, this takes the collection reference here as first parameter. Then in the second param, it takes the where. And here we define the condition. So we have to filter out based on age to add the age, then one comma, then we have to add the condition whether we want it to be equal to or we want it to be less than or greater than. Then the value. So we want the age to be less than 28. So here with this as less than. So if the age is less than 28, then this will be shown. Then we have to pass this age query to get function. So in our case, it's on snapshot. So on the place of collection ref, pass the age query here. And you will see, we will get the 3 data here, where the ages are less than 28, 20, 21 and 25. If we make it more than 28 or equal to 28, we will see only one age which is 28 here. So let me just show you. Refresh. So if age is equal to 28, we will see only that data. See we are getting only one age here because only one data has the age of 28 here. So that's how age or numeric filter works. So let's now try to filter name query. So for the name query, we will use if the name is equals to this Nishant Kumar 4, then it will print the data of this. So if we refresh the page, let's see what we have here. Okay, something is wrong. If name equals to this Nishant Kumar 4, okay, we have to pass the query here as well, not age query because that doesn't exist. So see, we're only getting the name because the only one name because here the name is Nishant Kumar 4 and we are filtering it based on that. We can also add the email or any other field we want, and that's how the age or any other query works. Fine here. Okay, make this as email. Then we can see this query here. If we make it just nishant440@gmail.com, this should be here because this record has the email of this and the name of this. So that's how query works in Firebase Firestore. So let's learn how to host a web app or a website to Firebase hosting. So I have a React app here, a blog website that we will host. So first thing to do, we have to create or we have to install the Firebase CLI. So we will just do this, install Firebase tools here. Let me install this. And one more thing I have to do is we have to create a build here. So npm run build. After these two, we will be moving forward. So we have to wait for the build to generate and for the Firebase tools to install. So let's wait. Now we have the build. So let's deploy it. First, let's log into Firebase using Firebase login CI. Enter. So it will open up a window in the Chrome. Sign in with this, allow this, and we are signed in with Firebase. Then what we have to do is we have to initialize the project. So let me just zoom this. So we can just do Firebase init. We want to proceed, so yes. We want the hosting, so just press space to select the option and enter for the next step. So we want the public directory as build because that's where the build is. Enter. So okay, we don't need this automatic build. Okay, wait, something wrong. So let me do it once more. Let me clear it first. We have to initialize it using this. So yes, we want the hosting. Enter. Build is the public folder. We want the single page app. Yes. You don't want the automatic builds. No. You don't want to override this. No. That's all. Let's just use the command called Firebase deploy to deploy this. So the step is to generate a build first, then to log in, then to initialize, then to deploy. So we have different commands for generating the build for Angular, for React, and for any other framework like Next. So that's how we do it here. So see, it's getting or giving us a website link here. So let's open it and see. So you should see the website here. So this is the website that we just hosted in this link. And that's how Firebase hosting works.